You want to start improvising but have no idea where to begin? That's completely normal. Work on technique, learn new skills, understand theory, and so on. There's so much information out there that most of my students feel totally lost when they come to me. And the worst part is that they're working on the wrong things at the wrong time. If you're stuck on the pentatonic scale, the solution is not to learn more scales. So in this video, I'm going to give you the step-by-step method that will take your improvisation from this to that in just a few weeks. And we're starting right now with step number 1. If you were a galactic explorer tasked with examining the plutonium volcano on a new planet, the first thing you'd do would be to prepare yourself properly, because any mistake could be fatal. To do that, you need a strategy, a map, and the right gear. Well, to start improvising, imagine you're setting off on an exploration. Fortunately for you, making mistakes won't be fatal, but they will give you bad habits that can ruin your solos. And hey, you don't want to show up at the volcano like a fool wearing flip-flops, carrying a Tesco bag and munching on Doritos. So let's begin with the strategy. The strategy is the glue that holds everything together. It's the one that tells you when, what, and how to use your gear. It also allows you to plot your route on the map and mark the stops along the way. You get it? No strategy equal you're in big trouble. So here is the strategy to make killer solos. There are 7 steps you need to take on your journey to reach your goal. Each of them is crucial for progress, but the mechanism is a bit sneaky. What you need to understand is that each poorly executed step acts more like a bottleneck than a blockade. It drastically slows down your progress on the other steps, but doesn't stop you from working on them. So the problem with that is you end up thinking you've already nailed the previous steps. So usually you rush ahead, and when you struggle to improvise, you don't know where the problem comes from. Your mission today: find your bottleneck. And by the way, if you want the tabs from this video, click the link in the description. And right here, we're in step number 1, preparation. And to prepare properly, I told you you needed a map. You wouldn't put your socks after your shoes, huh? Well, it's quite easy to understand, but the map tells you the order in which to do things. For example, if you want to improve your bends but you're not solid rhythmically, if you don't improve your rhythm technique, your bends will always sound like crap. Sorry. In other words, if you identify a bottleneck at step 3, focus on step 3 and nothing else. So the essential lesson that the map gives you is: don't try to do everything at once. It's counterproductive and it creates a thick fog in your brain. And to finish your preparation, we need to talk about gear. We've seen that you don't want to show up like a tourist at the foot of the volcano, but you also don't want to arrive loaded down like a mule. But that's often the problem with guitarists who keep going around in circles within the pentatonic scale. Since you're always playing the same thing on the one scale, you think you need to learn new skills, new technique, and deep theory. But in reality, learning more stuff is just adding more clutter. If you're stuck at step 1, learning the melodic minor scale won't change anything. That's why in the next step, I won't burden you with modes, 2-5-1 progressions, or rainbow scale. They don't exist. Now it's time to move on to step 2. The first pentatonic shape. Do you already know it? Are you sure? Because there are 3 major mistakes my students make at the beginning. Mistake 1, knowing just one pattern. That is, playing the pentatonic shape from low to high or from high to low. The thing is, you'll almost never use it like that when improvising. So make sure you can start the shape from any string. Practice starting from here, here, or here. Mistake number 2, not knowing the key. I promise I won't dive into the details of music theory, but you need to know one thing. Every song has a key. It's the main chord of the song, the alpha, le chef, if you will. To improvise over the song, you need to be in the right key. For example, if my main chord is A minor, I need to improvise in A minor. And here is the good news. The first note of my first pentatonic shape is the note of the key. So, to improvise in A minor, you need to find the A note on the first string and run through the shape. Here, if you want to play D minor pentatonic, here, the D note, C, and so on. Mistake number 3, learning all the other shapes. Right now, since you don't have the basic tools to improvise, don't bother learning all the other shapes. It's too much. It will just confuse you, and if you can't make music with 4 notes, I don't see how you'll manage with 10 or more. So if you've mastered this step, you can move on to the next. Number 3. Imagine this. On your way to the plutonium volcano, you suddenly spot a terrifying monster in the distance. You grab your exploration binoculars to see that it has also spotted you and is charging straight at you. No panic. You're a professional. You calmly pull out your intergalactic battle crossbow, of course, and begin setting up, following the protocol meticulously. Once everything's ready, you fire. 10 minutes too soon. You were so focused on the protocol that you forgot the most important thing. Timing. You made the right moves, but at the wrong time. So if you make the same mistakes when you improvise, you're not going to get very far. Technique and scales are cool, but if you forget about timing, you're in big trouble. So I'm gonna give you an exercise to work on this. It's going to help you to force yourself to play fewer notes and create interesting musical phrases thanks to rhythm. The exercise is to restrict yourself to 4 notes of the pentatonic scale and work on improvising over it. Here is an example with this part of the first shape. Step number 4. You're playing the right scale with the right rhythm, but your solos still sound like this. What should you do now? Learn the pentatonic over the fretboard? Add some passing notes for a spicier sound? Learn to play with your teeth? Actually, the answer is much simpler than that. If I play the pentatonic from top to bottom, bottom to top, it's like I'm reciting the alphabet in order. Boring. And this is what I see in almost every guitar player who's starting out. So, what's the solution? Learn to make different intervals. For that, you can experiment or learn pentatonic scale sequences, like the 3-note sequence. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Or the 4-note sequence. But to do that, you might be missing one thing. Step number 5. Flexibility and smoothness. It almost sounds like a laundry detergent ad. Let me tell you a little secret. Most guitar players think that they're not flexible. There's nothing to be done, that is just the way it is. They think it's different for them because their fingers are too small, too big, too long, and so on. Don't listen to them. It's not true. If you feel like your fingers are obeying you or there's a delay between your brain and your hand, well, you're going to need to build up some muscles. More muscle equals more control, equal less effort for better results. But beware, there are types of strengthening that are useless, like this, or this. By doing the right exercises, not only will you strengthen yourself the right way, but you'll also strengthen your neural connections, reducing the latency between your brain and your hands. The problem is, there are tons of exercises to work on tons of different techniques, and if you try to do everything at once, remember the strategy, you'll end up with a 4-hour routine and quit after 3 days. And here we want results. So we're going to keep it simple but effective. I'm going to give you just one exercise that will work on left and right hand synchronization, left hand flexibility, all possible combinations for the left hand, right hand alternate picking, and by extension rhythm, and your focus. And it works whether you're a total beginner guitar noob or advanced enough to give advice on YouTube and run an online guitar school. Anyway, it's amazing, but now you're probably wondering, where's the catch in all this? Well, this exercise is extremely boring. Basically, you'll be playing all the different finger combinations on all strings with alternate picking. So your sessions will look like this. But in just 15 minutes you're all done, and I can tell you it's super effective, especially if you do it every day. Try it yourself. And once you've mastered this, you can move on to the most crucial step to play killer solos. Bends and vibratos. Well, if every time you do a bend you attract all the stray cats in the neighborhood, it's time for a change. Working on a bending technique and vibratos make huge difference in your solos. To do a bend or vibrato correctly, I have 4 tips for you. 1. Use the blues position, meaning with your thumb on the side of the neck. Otherwise, you'll have no strength. Number 2. To start, work on bends with your ring finger and use your other fingers to help push the string. For vibrato, you can use any finger, it works great. 3. Practice with backing tracks to work on pitch accuracy. 4. Keep practicing them again and again and again and again until it sounds like what you hear in your head. And honestly, you're going to need way more than just 4 or 5 tries here and there to get to where you want to. But once you start getting a decent result, you can move on to the last step. Guitar players often think that improvising means doing something totally new every time. But that's not true at all. How many times have you heard this lick in a solo? Or this one? And it works! So if you want to play killer solos, learn licks. A ton of them. At first, you'll just play them exactly as they are, but over time, you'll start to make them your own, play them your way, and add your own personal touch. By the way, a really cool exercise is to work on the same lick over multiple different backing tracks, at different tempos, different keys, and different grooves. Sometimes, to make it fit, you're gonna have to twist them and play around with them, and that's exactly the point of this exercise. It helps you internalize it much more easily. Once you've done that, remember you're still on the first pentatonic shape. So, to take it even more further, you can move on to the bonus step, learn the pentatonic scale all over the fretboard. You can check out this video where I explain how to do it in 30 days. Thanks for watching. See you!